just a little quick announcement before we start the show. We've been nominated for Best Podcast at the Australian Adult Industry Awards. We will put the link in the description to vote for us. Voting starts on the 3rd of March. So, if you enjoy the show and you enjoy us, we would love your vote. And, thanks and enjoy the show.
All right, what's up, guys? And welcome to another episode of Sex with Kat and Mark. And this week, we've got a special guest. We've got the Girthmasterr in. So this is a man that owns one of the girthiest penises in Australia, one of the top OnlyFans creators. So Girthmasterr, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, guys. It's great to be here.
So my first question is, when did you actually realize you were gifted? When did you actually look down and think, okay, this is bigger than what most people have?
That's so true. Like, were you a little kid just running around with this, just like a banana in your pants? Special school clothes have to be made.
I mean, I found out I was big in high school, like grade 11. And the boys saw it and I knew I was big then. But I didn't know how big I was until I started doing porn. Because, I get told I got a big dick a lot, but then I watch porn and I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty average.
Yeah.
And then, I started doing porn and all these women that have seen, all these dicks for years keep telling me that I'm the biggest they've ever seen. So probably a few months into porn is when I really realized just how rare it is.
So did you start doing porn because you had a big dick, or would you have started doing porn anyway?
It helped for sure. But I've been putting pictures of my dick online forever. That's
such a boy thing to do. You love taking photos of your dicks and just sending them out into the world. Why do you men do that?
If you're gifted, okay? You don't.
Low-key, you used to do that too, didn't you?
No, I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're talking about. Don't check Reddit anytime soon.
I remember 2010 going on Tumblr, putting up pictures of my dick and going viral then.
That's awesome.
It's addicting, I swear. Tumblr, Reddit, just all over the internet.
You just got a helicopter that shit, yeah? The thing is, it's so interesting to hear that it took almost your whole adult life to figure out how big your dick is compared to everyone else. And I think a lot of guys might face this in reverse, where they think they've got a super tiny dick because all they're used to is watching porn. And then they kind of realize the same thing you went through, where a lot of girls were telling you it's the biggest they've ever seen. And other guys might be like, oh no, this is average, right? So it's super interesting, the perception that's created with dick size. But there you go. So you found out, started doing porn. And when did you do porn before you started an OnlyFans account, or was the OnlyFans account first, or how did it all come about?
Oh, well, I made home videos and stuff, nothing to post anywhere. And I love doing that kind of thing. And then I was bored. I was in a hotel quarantine for 2 weeks, bored out of my mind. Started a Twitter because why not, put more pictures of my dick on the internet. And then, and then within weeks I had 10 or 15,000 Twitter followers.
Oh shit.
So I got out of quarantine and I was, I met someone that did OnlyFans. They told me how much money they were making and they told me there was an opportunity that I could do it. So jumped on the wagon and here I am a year later.
A year later? Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And what did you face any challenges? Because obviously this is your niche, right? It's the Girthmasterr.
Yeah.
Did you face any challenges when you're trying to collab? Because for most guys, when they're collabing in the industry, it doesn't come with a warning, right? Whereas I feel like you have to be look, we can collab, but
you might end up in a wheelchair. We need a paramedic on standby.
You might take a few weeks off after this collab.
The only porn scene where there's literally a paramedic.
Yeah, just is that honestly, jokes aside, is that challenging when it comes to collabing with people?
I mean, it hasn't really been an issue yet. And I'm always real clear before the shoot, stop at any point, please. If it's starting to get uncomfortable, pull out, cut it, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But luckily, so far, everyone's been able to fit it without an issue.
Perfect.
Yeah. Okay. So
people pull out with cold feet, but once they show up, once we start, it's not an issue.
Okay.
Have you ever had girls where it is an issue?
In my personal life, yeah.
Yeah, this is what I want to know about, right? Because every guy, they're always like, I want a bigger dick, I want a big dick. But I don't think they realize that there is a massive challenge to this as well, and a massive downside. So I'd like to hear about the challenges that you face in your personal life and in your sex life.
I mean, the biggest challenge is say I go on a date with a girl from Hinge or something like that. I keep it a surprise until, we get down to it. And then there's always this issue of like, I got to get the condom on. Like by the time I squeeze that on and start easing it in, I'm starting to lose the boner a little bit. So I got to take it out, get it back up. It's this whole little dance. So that could be a real issue, especially like with random people because you're using condoms. When I'm making porn, the issue is sometimes it can be hard to last long enough. Because like you think about the tightest woman you've ever been with and how good it felt. For me, that's every girl I ever sleep with.
Yeah.
That's so true. Yeah, I never thought of that. That is so true.
Yeah. Legit. So when it comes to condoms, obviously you have to get these things custom made, right?
Oh, yeah. Do you, wait, and how long does it take to put on? Is that?
He's there for 10 minutes, like slowly unraveling.
Yeah.
Like, I buy them online from a company, I think it's called They Fit out of the UK. And they make the biggest I can find online.
No way. So like, the king, I know that the biggest I've seen is like I think it's naked king size ones. So like that's too small for you.
Yeah, you got to get some custom made.
They're girthy condoms, those ones.
I've never found any store-bought condoms that fit.
I reckon this is a collab, Girthmasterr naked condom collab. The Girthmasterr condom.
It's on shelves with the logo on
it. I'm sure right now everyone at home is Googling how big exactly is Girthmasterr's penis. So do you want to dispel and let everyone know? Give us the measurements. Yeah. How big are we talking?
So around, it's just over 7 inches, about 7.25 inches around.
Oh, I think I seen the photo of that actually. It's like a photo.
She was doing her research earlier, yeah.
Kind of like a Powerade bottle. And then about 7 or 8 inches long.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Kat, do you reckon you could take it?
So this is really funny. So spoiler alert, guys. So Girthmasterr and I have been talking about doing a collab, and I was like, honestly, I don't think.
Yeah.
I honestly think I will end up in a wheelchair because so as he was saying before, so like usually, so porn stars are generally like I'm not saying they're loose, but they're usually like always having sex. So usually their vaginas are quite primed and they're used to sticking big shit in there because they make videos and whatnot. I'm 4'11", so I'm like my vagina. It doesn't matter how much shit I stick up there. It's like I'm fucking tiny.
I gotta say, like in my experience, height doesn't matter that much.
Oh no, I'm tight, man. I'm very tight. I am. I've been told. But so this is something that this is the challenge I've set for myself.
Okay, so let's hear it.
So I was looking at like a couple of your things on Twitter, and most girls like can't really fit it in their mouth, right? Like, have you ever had like a proper head job?
I've never been deep throated. No.
I reckon I could do it.
Challenge accepted.
I got a big mouth, man.
For a 4'11" girl,
I got a tight pussy. Tight pussy, big mouth.
There you go. All right. Well, hey, that counts. Okay. This is happening, man. All right, collab. Challenge accepted. Deep throating Girthmasterr. It's happening.
I will be there all night. I'll be like, I'll be driving like this, getting in there. I will make it happen.
So what do you do? So in your personal life, right? So you're mentioning that you have, let's say, Hinge girl over. There's no pre-warning, and then boom, out comes Girthmasterr. She's like, "What the fuck? How are we going to do this?" What are your tips for guys that have big dick problems, or even maybe they're with a girl where they have vaginismus, or that they have, which is essentially a condition where their pussy tightens up quite a lot whenever they go to have sex.
Oh my God, maybe I have that.
Maybe you do. And so then it can become very painful to have sex. So even guys, let's say with average or small size dicks, they can still face these problems. Now, the difference is you probably face it every single time. So what are your tips for the guys out there that face these issues in order to make it a more, let's say, pleasurable experience for the girl?
I mean, the best tip is to get good at foreplay. Get it really good. Because just getting them relaxed, comfortable, like maybe an orgasm or two before you get into it, just gets them, it just makes it that much easier to get it in.
Yeah.
Other than that, like I said, them being relaxed is super important. Have, a good vibe, be charming. Yeah, other than that, just hope you try the best. Use a lot of lube. Toys are your friends. Don't be afraid of them.
Yeah, nice. Nice advice. Yeah, I mean, if I was you, I'd have a big toy on hand to get the girl primed up. That's
like a wine bottle on hand.
Exactly, yeah. Have a wine bottle on hand to prep them for what's coming. What about, so you mentioned before, you've taken some pics next to like Gatorade bottles and stuff, right, to give perspective. Now, you're a man that's taken a lot of dick pics, right? Let's be real.
Yeah.
Do you have any tips for guys asking for a friend for taking? How do you take an optimal dick pic for the boys out there? Do you have any tips?
So tip number 1 is get good lighting. Don't be laying in bed in a dimly lit room because that's just gross.
Yeah, they're the seediest.
Well, I've seen my fair share. I'm sure you have too.
Oh, mate. I wake up almost every day to unsolicited dick pics on my phone.
It's a nightmare.
Do you guys, actually, no, I'll let you finish. I'll come back to this one. Yeah, so good lighting.
Mm-hmm.
Lighting, trim the area, have it looking good, trim the hedges, the house looks better. Find a good angle that works well with you, depending which way your dick goes, up, down, left, right, curved. And find something to compare it to that's a little smaller than it, so it looks big in comparison.
That's a good tip.
Have really tiny hands, in other words.
No, girls don't like tiny hands.
No, but they won't think it's a tiny hand. They'll just think it's a big dick. That's what I'm saying, right?
Do you get guys send you dick pics? I feel like guys would send you dick pics and be like, yo, rape my cock or something like that.
How do I compare?
I don't know. I feel like they would.
Pics, I get butthole pics, everything.
Butthole pics? Yeah. Like the dick pic makes sense because it's like, yo.
Is butthole pic like, hey, come stick that in this type of thing? Do you get some?
It's just a message request full of them. Just like a spread picture of butt cheeks. Like I can't even open them anymore.
Unsolicited butt cheeks. I've never thought about that. There you go.
That's so random.
Yeah.
So I heard someone told me that apparently, this is what I heard. Is it true that the first time you had like proper, like a full blown insertion was like when you started doing porn?
No, I don't think so. I've definitely fit it all in before in some girls.
Oh, that's impressive. I'm very impressed. I'm absolutely impressed. Good on those girls.
Yeah, I know, right? Well done.
Shout out to them. Probably in wheelchairs, but.
And I know we talked about this earlier. This is a question you got from your audience, but have you ever fucked a virgin?
I think one time I did, and it didn't end too well.
It didn't go well.
Even abruptly. It was like schoolies, pretty drunk. And she like left halfway through, and I didn't know what happened.
Yeah.
And then later on, I'm pretty sure I found out. Like there was blood on the sheets and stuff. I'm pretty sure that was the one and only time I've been with a virgin.
Poor girl.
Could you imagine being that girl where you've never had sex before?
You're like, yeah,
it's your
schoolies.
First time. You're like, schoolies adventure. Let's lose my virginity. And you meet this charming, like, Australian guy. Like, this is all going great. You go back to his hotel room. Next minute, Girthiest man in Australia. Like,
and you wouldn't even know, like, being a virgin.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You would not know that that's a big dick. You'd be like, oh, this is just average. This is just an average sized one.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And so your adventure through OnlyFans, you're one of the top creators now. You've been doing it for a year. You're obviously not showing your face. Anyone watching YouTube, it's blurred at the moment. So what went into your decision for that? Like, what's your reasoning behind not having face out?
Well, like at the time, obviously, I didn't know if it'd be successful or not. And I just got like an office job for the first time. I could always work like manual labor type jobs. So I was keen to keep that. It hadn't told my family or anything like that at all. So really like anonymity was just kind of the best way for me to get started with it. Like made me most comfortable.
Huh.
Now at this point, I've quit my day job, so I'm full-time in porn. But I've kind of made it this far without showing my face. I kind of want to see how far I can ride it without showing my face.
Cool.
And then one day, big collaboration, show my face and go from there.
Cool. So do your parents or do your family know? Or you haven't?
Yeah, I do now. I told them weekend before last.
Oh, yeah? Tell us
Was your dad
about
proud
that.
or what?
It was funny because every time I tell somebody, I tell like my aunt and her husband at the same time, like mum and stepdad at the same time. And they're asking all the serious questions about it, like how much money you're making, what's the longevity of it. And then as soon as the wife's gone, they turn to me and they're like, so what are these girls like, mate? Are they good thoughts?
Such a bloke question, yeah.
Is your dad very girthy as well? Like, is this an inherited girthiness?
I'll send you the same question, but I've never seen my dad's dick.
Oh, okay. So we could actually have a second Girthmasterr walking around.
No, my mom's an angel, so I'm a hope he isn't.
And what about, so you coming out to your family, friends, things like that. How do your friends react? Because this is what I'm curious about. Like when people that I know or acquaintances find out that I do sex coaching, a lot of them, typical reaction is to get a little bit insecure about it, right? So I can imagine if you're coming out to your mates and you're like, this is what I do for work. I'm the Girthmasterr. How did they respond? A lot of them like, oh yeah, my dick's big too or some shit. Like, how do they react? Do people get insecure about it?
And like, my mates are all been my mates since high school. So they know about it anyway.
Yeah.
So now that I'm doing it, like, most of the time they just shake their heads at me like, you lucky bastard. Like any of my work stories, they're just like, can't believe it.
Yeah.
They love it.
I mean, it's not a bad job, right?
Like, when we're out, like going out to town and stuff like that, we can just tell people like, the chat comes up like, oh, what do you do for work? OnlyFans. And it just like gets all the attention on us, which is cool.
Yeah. I mean, it must be, let's be honest for a second here, Mr. Girthmasterr. Do you have online dating profiles, it sounds like, Hinge, maybe Tinder?
Yeah.
Are you or are you not putting Mr. Girthmasterr 7 inches
Australia's
in the bio?
biggest cock.
Because if you're not, this is a disservice to yourself and you should be.
I mean, like, I've got the dating profiles, but I am barely on them. Like, I've got, like, Hinge is just like, I don't know, like a little like Lewis sitting in the water every now and then, jump on it, see what's out there.
No.
I don't know, I just like can't be bothered to put that much effort into dating. But when I do, like, my favorite thing is getting that reaction when they first see it.
You like to keep it a surprise.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
That's evil.
What's been the most interesting reaction you got? I'm curious. I'm sure you've got some surprise
you
looks
would have
on
been
girls'
turned
faces.
down for sure.
The funniest is like when they get like kind of hysterical. Like they kind of like jump back, like start laughing uncontrollably. Like it's so funny to me. But
do girls get out their phone and like start sending photos to their friends and shit?
Yeah. One girl made like a WhatsApp sticker out of a picture of my dick and sent it to like a group chat.
do you ever get referrals then? Are you ever with a girl and then they tell their friends and then you suddenly get a DM from their friend being like, hey, what's up?
Like the friends, it's always sly when like I see a girl and then like a couple of the friends follow me on social media.
Yeah, of course.
You know what's up.
Yeah, it's gold. It's gold. And so what are your plans in your personal dating life then? Are you, obviously you're a creator now. We've spoken on the podcast before about the challenges of being a creator and also sort of dating at the same time. So in terms of your personal life, are you looking to date? Are you looking for something serious? Like where are you at in your point in your life as a creator?
I'm not looking for anything serious at all, really.
Yeah.
Like I'm 100% focused on OnlyFans and it's going well. I'm super busy all the time. I got collabs most every day. Like it's hard, like, even when I go on these like occasional like Hinge dates, it's hard to even find the time to like line up a second date, third date kind of thing. I've got to like keep a day free, assuming that we go on another date kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I've had my share of like long-term relationships, kind of just over all that now, ready to just kind of, keep my head down.
Yeah. Make money.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. What am I going to do? Like go to brunch in the farmer's market?
No, fair call. So what are your goals then with your OnlyFans? Do you have anyone that you really want to collab with that you want to set up? Is like where's your vision for your journey so far?
Yeah, I mean, since day one, I've been saying Angela White's the goal. Like that's my dream collaboration right there. Ultimately, just grow the profile though. Work with some big names internationally, spread the word. Represent Australia for having big dicks. And
that's it.
Fuck yeah. Aussies do have big dicks though. Like as someone who's had her fair share, speaking from someone who's tried all kinds of cuisines,
done some field research.
Yeah, there are certain nationalities that just on average have bigger ones, and Aussies, like
they go hard. Right?
Yeah, they do. So this does not surprise me at all.
100%. I like it. That's cool.
Make the best porn I can and make money doing it, have fun, travel the world,
Yeah, no, it sounds amazing. And so let's talk a little bit about I wanted to talk a little bit more about any other challenges that you may face, because one of the questions that I came into this interview really wanting to know is if you could wake up tomorrow, right, and have any size dick that you wanted, would it be bigger? Would it be smaller? Would it be the same? Because like if you could wake up tomorrow, what would it look like? This is what I'm really interested to know.
That's a good question.
I'd be carrying it around in a wheelbarrow.
Yes.
My man.
Yes. I love it. That's great. Yeah, no, it's good. You've embraced it. I think it's amazing. Whenever I look at creators, I really think it's good to niche up, right? It's always good to have some type of pull in that area. And so really just owning the identity. Girthmasterr, love the name, love the identity. It's that's awesome. So to hear that tomorrow you'd wake up walking around with a fucking wheelbarrow. Kat, do you reckon you could take it then?
Like deep throat it.
She's still like challenge accepted, motherfuckers.
Oh no, I'll still try for sure. For sure, 100%.
Let's go.
So, but don't you? That's really interesting that you said bigger because, like, well, I don't know. So, like, do you not like head? Or like, I guess you wouldn't know because you've never had head. I guess you wouldn't because you don't know what you're missing out on because you've never had it.
Kat really wants to give you the experience. She's like, you've been missing out. Let me show you.
I will get that in my mouth. So, what'd you say?
If I could like take a 1/4 inch off it whenever I choose, that'd be ideal.
Like snap it in half.
Yeah, if you could change it depending on the girl. So if you got like a 4'11" tight girl and just be like, okay, I want to get hard, but not as hard.
Actually, how big is it on the flop? Because you definitely people could deep throat it like on the flop. I don't know if that would feel
or a show Girthmasterr? That's the question.
I'm a huge grower. It's not that impressive on the flop. I used to be self-conscious of it on the flop.
No way.
Like a.
That's asking how small we're talking.
I'm curious.
Maybe like 3 inches long and not. Well, I don't know. Like I'm being self-conscious of it on the flop, but then people have seen it soft and they tell me it's bigger than some hard dick. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Exactly. You've probably just never seen small ones. Maybe.
So you can get like a real surprise because you could flop it out, right? Look really tiny, and the girl's like, "Oh, okay, this guy's an average size dick, yeah, whatever, blah blah." And then you get a little bit, get a bit horny, get a bit excited, and the girl's like, "Holy shit! Okay, where's the ambulance? what's happening here?" That's even better. That's like its own surprise shock value in itself.
Yeah, it's a pretty good surprise to give.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Those poor girls.
God, all right. All right, Kat, do you have any other questions for the Girthmasterr? We got a couple from Instagram, I think.
Yeah.
Have you ever looked into dick enhancements, dick growing? Like, has anyone come to you in terms of that?
I've turned down like sponsorship deals from like dick pump companies.
Yeah.
From what? Wait, from what?
Because what we're saying, Kat, is essentially there's a market out there for you've got a small dick, we'll help you grow it. So there are things like dick pumps that increase the blood flow to the penis. There's also, like vitamins you can take. There's pills. There's enhancers. So I'm sure like the same in the fitness industry, right? If you have someone that's really fit, you would go to them and be like, hey, can you sell our gym clothes or workout gear? So having the Girthmasterr over here, I'm sure there's companies that are like, hey, can you sell our dick pumps, right?
Oh yeah, that'd be like bad publicity.
They could say like, look what you could do with a dick pump. You know what I mean?
Oh, true.
So I'm sure you've been hit up, right?
Yeah. I've turned down a few like sponsorship deals from penis pump companies, but until they're offering me millions of dollars, I think I'm going to not ruin my brand with that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 100%. Have you ever tried a dick pump?
No, never.
Oh.
I don't know if I'd
put that on the list.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that.
Is there like a record you could break? Like, do you know what actually the girthiest penis is? Do we have a measurement of this?
I looked it up. I don't want to sound cocky, but like I think there's a fair case that I could be like one of the top in the country.
There you go.
Because I've never seen a thicker one on the internet anywhere.
Yeah, you should Guinness.
Mate,
Guinness
we're just gonna fuck it. We're just gonna claim it. I'm gonna announce you girthiest man in Australia. We're just gonna fuck it.
We have wanted to do a record on this show. Yeah. We keep saying we're gonna break a record on this show.
Yeah, exactly. We're having a competition at the end of the year. It's almost like a. Yeah, we are. What? We're getting your mate in, seeing how far he can come. We're going to beat that record. We've talked about this on the podcast before. So
we just get everyone in and we see what records we can break.
So you're officially the Kat and Mark sex show girthiest penis in Australia. It's done.
Right.
We're announcing.
If anybody has a thicker one, message me on Twitter because I know girls that want my twin, so we can.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that'd be an interesting. What about when you collab? Have you ever collabed with other guys? Like for threesomes orgies.
Yeah, I just done my first one. It was with Kayla East and Primal Instincts.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and Primal, I think, right? Yeah.
Yeah, what a hero. Kayla did a DP with the both of us.
My girl. My girl. Yeah. Respect. Queen.
I'm sitting there nervous.
Do you think that would be an issue? Would you ever like collab with guys and they're like, listen, you're going to make me look small, mate. Let's not do it.
I mean, it may be an issue, but also like it wasn't an issue at all, which is awesome.
Yeah. Oh,
like, I hope it is. It's
the
sticks, you know what I mean? They're all fun.
Yeah, no, fun times. Awesome.
This is just a me question now. So, is there going to be a Girthmasterr dildo? Asking for a friend.
Oh yeah.
You looking for some practice?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's exactly.
I didn't even think of that. But actually, that's so true. I'm going to be practicing deep throating a wine bottle now.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I feel like I feel like there'd be a market for that.
100%.
Yeah, I've made a few in the past, like dick clones. I use those like Clone a Willy kits.
Yeah.
It's hard because my dick doesn't fit inside the Clone a Willy tube.
That's in it. You need a custom made fucking true that.
Like 3 containers, like 3 packets of the silicon to make. So like, just to make a dildo cost me like $200.
Yeah, there should be like a dildo. Yeah, any dildo companies listening?
Exactly.
Girthmasterr collab.
Get some sponsorship here with some fucking
Girthmasterr dildo.
Like 4 or 5 dildo companies, and they all don't take custom orders like that. So
okay.
Oh, really?
I'm working on like maybe a factory in China can make them, but if they're like body safe silicon and everything,
that's a hard part.
Figuring out how to do it myself.
Yeah. That's a good idea because we actually just on the weekend, we went up to Queensland and we met a bunch of creators there, went to a sex party there, and we were having a look through one of the girls' collections. And she had some weapon dildos there. Right?
Oh, this is Shorty. You would know Shorty.
Probably know Shorty.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. She had some weapon dildos there. And I reckon...
definitely that big one.
Yeah.
That was like a Girthmasterr size one.
Exactly. There's a company making dildos that are pretty fucking big. So I reckon you could definitely find someone.
There's a couple of ladies out there that have a couple of my dildos to practice with, that's for sure.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Well, send one our way. Kat's going to practice. And then we're going to have a collab going. It's perfect. It's perfect.
Oh, okay. So this is a question from the audience. Has there ever been a girl that's just said like no, like seen it and said no, not doing this?
I think they've always tried, but sometimes like it gets to barely even the tip, and they're like, "All right, that's enough." Stop
yeah, you know what? I feel with that because all right. So when I was younger, there was this guy kind of he wasn't really in my friendship group, but he was kind of like in people knew of him, and there was like rumors going around that he had like a massive cock. And so I invited him over one day because I was really curious, right? Yeah. And he thought it was really, I would say it's probably like, it was almost as girthy as Girthmasterr. Maybe not as long, but it was like very girthy. And like, I mean, I wanted to sleep with him just to see if I could do it. Challenge, There's no other reason. Yeah. So yeah, no, I feel that.
So are you sexually frustrated in those situations? Are you just sitting there like, fuck?
Mel made the best analogy the other week. She said, he's like, it didn't fit. So we ended up just fooling around for a few hours. Like the next morning, same thing, just, head and fingers and stuff.
Yeah.
And she said, we basically just had lesbian sex for 4 hours.
Yes. Yeah. Well, we've spoken about
lesbian sex.
Yeah, it's the greatest. We've spoken about this on the podcast a few times. And we've spoken about guys that, for example, have performance anxiety or can't get hard and, coming too quickly. And I always say, like, some of the best sex you can ever give a girl is lesbian sex. And this goes back to what you're talking about, which is, really focusing on foreplay to get the girl ready and things like that. And oftentimes that's what girls are going to appreciate the most is the lesbian sex. And that's where they're going to actually receive some of the best pleasure. So yeah, it's awesome to hear it again. It's, yeah, I agree.
So this is another cat question. So all the questions from the audience we've kind of already touched on. Yeah, this is another cat question. So when you're wanking, do you have to use both hands?
That's a good question.
No, I think I just use the one.
But surely, I mean, do you have just really big hands? Like, do you?
Yeah, my hands are huge, actually. Like
that makes sense.
There you go. That's what they say. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you done the? Is there the Isn't there like a saying where it's like, oh, it's as long as...
Well, there's a lot of things. There's things that say like you compare your middle finger to your index finger, size of your feet, size of your hands.
Do any of them work?
No. So the studies that have like come out about this, there's like not really a correlation.
Okay. Well, in Girthmasterr's case, there is a correlation.
Strong correlation. Yeah.
All right. So can you wrap your hand all the way around, or like how?
I have hands. Like even though I'm 6'6", my hands are big.
Oh, you're a big dude.
Yeah, like,
that's
I think my
big.
hands are the size of like Michael Jordan or LeBron or someone.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, 6'8". That's tall.
Yeah,
that's very tall.
Did you play basketball?
I gotta whenever I take dick pics, I gotta try to keep my hand out of it because my hand.
Yeah.
a regular big dick.
That's why you need the Powerade bottles. Yeah, I get you. Yeah, that's what I was saying before. If you got small hands, that's how you should be taking dick pics. You know?
I don't know. I don't trust guys that have small hands.
Yeah, but you don't know they've got a small hand.
There's a Pornstar called Small Hands, and he's really good.
No way. Are you lying?
Seriously, he works with Owen Gray a lot.
Oh my god, no, I don't know. Small hands on guys, like there's just something freaky about it. Like I don't know.
Not a fan of Donald Trump then.
Yeah, I don't know. Guys need like I need like meaty, muscly.
You need like masculine hands.
Yeah.
So we try. Yeah,
I do.
All right. So small hands. He's a porn star with small hands, and he called himself Small Hands. Is this?
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
Makes sense.
I saw a picture of him putting his hand up to like a female performer, and they were smaller than hers.
Damn! Imagine choking a girl, and your like hand can't wrap around their throat.
He has a good sized dick, and he's like a really good performer.
There you go. So no correlation found.
Interesting. Yeah.
I like that he's taken something that people would be insecure about, and he's like, "Fuck it, I'm going to roll with it." Right?
You can niche anything these days. That's so crazy.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, do you have any other questions or
no?
All right, awesome, man. Well, thanks so much for coming on. Where can people find you? Because I'm sure there's a lot of girls sitting at home right now googling Girthmasterr, but let's help them out. Let's get them direct. How can they find you?
All over the internet. I've got Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. They can go to girthmasterr.com. That's Girthmasterr with the 2 R's on it.
Perfect. All right, happy days.
Yeah, and everyone get keen for the Cat Girthmasterr
Yeah, it's coming, guys. All right, there is a challenge on the table. Girthmasterr Deep Throat with Cat.
If the podcast had all of a sudden comes to an abrupt end, it's because Cat's in hospital.
Cat's dead.
Cat's in hospital. From like being split in first girl to ever get split in half from having sex.
Yeah. Our fans love to see small girls and like their reactions. So it'd be great.
Yeah, dude. I mean, you're 6'6" or something.
I'd probably be one of the smallest. I'm 4'11".
4'11", yeah.
Yeah,
you're tiny.
Yeah, well, because I collabed with one guy once. I don't know, did you ever see the photo of that guy? He was 6'6", Seb.
Oh, maybe I have.
Seb, so I did collab with one guy who's 6'6", and he was literally twice my height. It looks so funny. Yeah, so get keen for that, everyone.
Thanks so much for coming on. Appreciate you, man. And everyone, Girthmasterr with 2 R's. Catch him there. All right, easy. Thanks.
See ya.